Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I made these stickers that I just started selling on my Etsy shop. I am by no means an expert, but I thought I could share a little bit of my wisdom and maybe it'll be helpful for any of you who are trying to make your own stickers. So with that said, let's just get started. I thought I'd start by talking a little bit about the actual design process for the stickers. Today I am designing Red Hood, Red Robin and Robin. I already had my Nightwing design from a previous occasion when I drew him, and I knew that I wanted to make a full set of Robins. I mean, technically it's not a full set because we haven't got the other Robins like Steph, etc., but for now I'm just doing the 4 of them. So in terms of what you want to consider for your own designs, I would just say consider your silhouette. If you're going to be cutting them by hand like me, if you make your silhouette really complicated with lots of tight angles to cut, it can be quite difficult when you're doing it with scissors. If you have a sticker cutting machine, then you don't have to worry about that too much because it'll do it for you. But if you're like me and you don't have one of those, just bear that in mind. For these designs here, they're pretty simple. The only sort of difficult bits to cut are the hair spikes, but in general these ones are pretty easy to cut out, as you can see. If you're wondering about the brushes I'm using, I'll have them linked below. They're from True Grit Texture Supply. I did make a video explaining my whole digital art process, so if you're interested in that, you can watch that for a more detailed explanation, but for this video I'm just going to be focusing more on the sticker making process. So one thing I'm really focusing on here is how these designs work as a set, and that's why I'm working on them together on one canvas rather than separately, because it lets me see how they're going to look together as a 4. And also means that I'm definitely working on the same size for all of them. And that's particularly important for the way I work because I colour with halftones. If I accidentally drew one a lot bigger or smaller, when I scale it down to print, the textures will get scaled down too and they won't match as well. I ended up redrawing Tim entirely because I wasn't happy with the way I drew his hair, and I felt that having him facing directly forward made him stand out too much when the others were on a 3/4 angle. I kept going back and forth working on his hair, but then I just scrapped it entirely and started redrawing him, and I'm so glad I did that because the new version came out so much better. I think they look better as a 4 now, and his hair also isn't bugging me. So now that I have all the designs, I'm going to show you how to get them ready to print. So in order to print them, you're going to want to export each sticker as an individual file. So I'm going to go and find Jason's folder here, and there it is. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to create a new file. And it doesn't need to be as big as A4, so I'm going to scale that down a little bit. There he is pasted in. And now I want to add a paper texture. So I'm going to go into my files and find my paper textures from True Grit. And I'm opening that up. Then all I need to do is copy that layer and paste it over the top. But I don't want it to be over the entire frame, I just want it to be on the sticker. So I'm going to turn that off, and then using the Magic Wand tool, I'm going to select outside of the sticker. Then I will invert that selection and create a mask. So now as you can see, it only affects the layer underneath it, which is the sticker. And I'm actually going to bring down the opacity of that a little bit because it's a bit too intense. So that looks good. And now when I turn off the background layer, it becomes transparent. So I'll export that as a PNG. And I've just done the same with all the others. So now in an A4 document, I'm just going to paste all of the stickers in. And I'm doing it A4 because that's the size I'll be printing. So it just makes it easier to do it that way so it's all scaled correctly. So that's Jason. And I'll go and find Tim. And there we are. Next, I'm going to resize the stickers. And if you're doing this for the first time, you're going to want to print out a test sticker to see how big you want them. However, because I already have some designs that I've printed, I already know the size I want to print mine. So I'm copying one of my already correctly sized stickers and pasting it into the current canvas and checking my new stickers against it. As you can see, they happen to already be pretty much the same size as this Catwoman sticker, so I won't need to resize them too much. Now I'm going to rearrange the stickers so that they have enough space between them. You don't want your stickers to be too close to each other because then there won't be enough space for the white border around each sticker. Again, this is something you will need to test for yourself to see how much space you need, but definitely err on the side of caution and leave bigger spaces if you're not sure, because you don't want to be wasting stickers by accidentally not leaving enough space between them and having to ruin one of them by cutting too close to it. Remember that both stickers will need a border, so you need enough space between them for both borders, not just one. Now that I'm happy with the size and placement, I'm going to add all the layers to a folder and then duplicate that folder to fill the sheet. Again, remember to print out a test sheet before printing a full page of stickers, because if you realise afterwards that the stickers are too small or too close together, then you've wasted a whole sheet of paper. So now that I've filled the sheet, you can see that there's not quite enough space left for another row. So in order to not waste the paper, I'm going to find a different design that will fit in the gap and just paste it in at the bottom there. Last thing you need to do is test your colours. Most of the time, the way your image looks on your screen won't be the exact same when you print it, so at the same time as testing the size of your stickers, you'll want to check the colours are coming out how you like. When I printed my first stickers, the colours were much duller and darker than on my screen. These bottom stickers here are my first prints, and although you can't really tell on camera, these final ones are much more vibrant in comparison. So don't be afraid to play around with the tonal correction to get the exact look you want. Even if the image on screen looks a bit off, the printed image is what is important here. Based on my own tests, I know I need to edit my designs, so I'm going into tonal correction and then brightness and contrast, and I'm just increasing both to about 30. Some designs may need more or less. For example, my Joker sticker is mostly white on his face, so it didn't need much editing, but for designs that have red or darker colours, I like to boost the brightness a bit more. So I'm just editing all of them to my liking, and now it's time to print. For my sticker paper, I am using this glossy white inkjet paper from a company called Online Labels. They sell pretty cheap sticker paper in lots of different finishes. I actually ordered a sample pack from them, which was completely free, because I wanted to test out the paper before committing to anything, and I would highly recommend you do the same. When I ordered the sample pack, I was so sure I was going to want to use the matte paper, but actually I ended up liking the glossy paper way better. In the sample pack, I ordered 5 different types of paper, which are their standard matte white, weatherproof gloss white, weatherproof matte white, removable matte white, and of course the gloss white. Although I wasn't intending for my stickers to be completely waterproof, I did want to make sure they were somewhat water resistant, so people could maybe use them on their water bottles. So that's why I wanted to try out their weatherproof paper, and I actually did a little test to see how weatherproof the paper actually is. So on the top we have the weatherproof matte paper, and below is the standard gloss. And I'm just running both of them under the tap, and as you can see the ink is quickly disappearing from the weatherproof matte paper. I actually had already run the glossy sticker under the tap before this, and it's still holding up really well. Now, I didn't end up testing the weatherproof gloss paper because the standard gloss did so well and it's cheaper, so I decided to just use that. In general, my printer doesn't do well on matte paper, so maybe that's why the weatherproof paper wasn't very weatherproof at all. There's obviously a difference between waterproof and weatherproof, so this paper isn't expected to stand up to heavy amounts of water, but considering how well the glossy paper held up, I decided I was happy to keep using it. Now it is finally time to print the stickers. This is my ancient Canon MP980, which is probably nearly as old as I am, and I'm just loading it with the glossy paper and clicking print. If you are looking for printer recommendations, I am not going to be particularly helpful. This is just the printer my parents already had, and in the interest of saving a lot of money, I obviously chose to use it instead of buying a new one when I started making my own prints at home. Actually connecting it to my laptop was really difficult because it's so old, but I got my brother in for technical support and he figured it out for me. This clip is sped up, it's actually a lot slower, but apart from it using up all of my ink ridiculously quickly, it's a good printer that produces high quality images. I decided to just print off one set of the Robin stickers rather than the whole sheet because I actually needed some more of my other designs to fulfill some Etsy orders. And while it's printing, I'm just going to take a second to say thank you for 100 subscribers. I've only really posted a couple of videos and I didn't think I'd reach 100 so quickly, so thank you so much for that. And if you're watching for the first time, feel free to subscribe and check out my other videos. I would really appreciate it. And now all that's left to do is cut out the stickers. I tried to make this like relaxing ASMR. I don't know how successful that was, but I'll try not to talk too long so you can enjoy that if you like. When it comes to cutting the stickers, I'd say cut the stickers out from the rest of the sheet before you go around the edge for the border, because it makes it much easier than trying to maneuver your scissors with the whole sheet of paper still attached. Apart from that, start bigger and then go smaller if you need, because you can always cut away more, but you can't put it back on if you cut too close. So I finished cutting out all of the stickers and here are the final results. I think these turned out super cute and I've already had a few orders on my Etsy, so if you were interested in buying any of these you can head on over there, the link will be in the description. And I hope that if you were looking to make your own stickers that this was maybe helpful for you. If you have any questions I can try my best to answer them, although as I say this is something that's new to me as well, so I'm definitely not an expert. Thank you again for 100 subscribers, and I'll see you in the next one.